Alright, we're just going to keep it simple today, guys. We're just going to appreciate the craziness of the NBA the past couple days, because why not? By the way, if you are wondering if I'm going to do a Quinn Snyder video because the Hawks hired him, yeah, that's probably the next one. I guess we go with the most recent craziness, which was Dame dropping 71. Real quick, I want to appreciate his shot chart of the game where he attempted, or at least made, a single mid-range shot. Everything else was threes or in the paint. And we pretty much saw just all the possibilities of Dame scoring. I mean, with those threes, his first one was basically just a step back over Jabari where not much else happened. Another one where he gets a screen from Eubanks, and then there was a screen from Jeremy Grant like right beforehand, which forced KJ to basically be the guy who has to pick up Dame, so he's got to come running out there super fast, and he did an okay job, but giving Dame an ounce of space is enough for him to get a three. Another one where he acted like he was going to get a screen, and so Jabari was kind of like denying the screen or getting ready to deal with that part of it, but he shaded too far, so then Dame was like, oh, wait a minute, you're just playing off of me. All right, here's a three ball. Then he makes a three over Josh Christopher on the left wing where, I think Christopher did an okay enough job. There was like 18 on the clock. That was one of those, I'm just going to shoot this and I know it's going in plays. And then right after that one, it was like KJ picked him up kind of like around half court, and then he gets a screen, and I think Şengün did his best to get up there, but again, just that sliver of space is enough for Dame. And then that one in the second where he took it from the logo at 19 on the clock, that was another just, I'm shooting this, and we all know this is going to go in shots. I mean, if you're Houston, you just got to be like, well, screw it, man. This is going to be one of those nights. Now, of course, if you're the Rockets front office, you can say, hooray, another L. Hopefully we get Wembanyama at the end of this. Clay also went crazy against the Rockets with, 12 threes and just looking like signature Clay in the Warriors offense. Look, Rockets fans, one day, okay? Trust me. As for the non-threes, I mean, the first play of the game was kind of cool where Şengün was guarding Thibault, and so Thibault screened for Dame, and he's in a drop, and then Dame just had a runway to the basket. He split a couple of double teams, one spin move that was really sick. Of course, he drew a bunch of fouls as well. Dame, he had a night. I guess we can go to the next one, the Kings-Clippers game from a couple days ago now, where, this is definitely one of the best regular season games ever. And unfortunately, because I sleep at normal person times now, I actually missed the whole thing. Luckily, you can watch replays at NBA.com and all that, so I caught up, and Malik Monk and De'Aaron Fox, my God. Also, the double teams that the Kings had on the Clippers there, where, PG had a stretch there. We had 2 straight turnovers. One of the gutsiest shots, bro, with 3 minutes left. The Kings are down 12. Malik Monk's bringing it up, and Batum's just not really staying glued to him, so he just takes a pull-up 3 with 20 on the clock, which I think some of that speaks to, dude's got the green light. But also, we know that not every player would have the confidence to take that shot, and he just drills it like it's nothing. And then that hammer play they ran to tie it with 8 seconds left, where, first it's Sabonis screens for Fox, and the Clippers switch, and then you got something off ball where Malik is relocating from basically the top of the key down to the corner, and you got Keegan Murray and Harrison Barnes screening for him, and then Powell was caught in no man's land a little bit, and even so, he and Westbrook, Westbrook had a good contest on Monk in the wing, and he drills it anyway. Then you had Fox where, it might get a little forgotten just in the craziness of that game, but with 15 seconds left, they were down 3. And he takes Norm Powell off the dribble, beats him, and then, he has to manage a pretty decently tough contest over PG. If that shot doesn't drop, then the Clippers get the rebound, they get fouled, and the game's probably over in the fourth quarter. And then those 2 mid-rangers he had over Powell. The one in the second overtime where they're down 38 seconds. He just rises up like nothing. And of course, Fox, he's had a lot of improvement from the mid-range and jumpers around the free throw line this year, especially. He just drills it like it's nothing. As for Westbrook in that game, there were a couple of interesting plays. There was one where PG and Plumlee ran a handoff action, and Westbrook cut right when Plumlee was getting a lob, and so he got himself an easy bucket off of that one. Another where Russ set an off-ball screen for Batum, and then Sabonis got a little discombobulated, and so Westbrook was able to get it and then get a drive to the rim. Of course, in my Westbrook Clippers video, where I think I might have been a little nicer than the consensus, I was more so in a let's see what this looks like as opposed to a this isn't going to work sort of thing, but I did have a moment of being I don't think Westbrook's going to set a whole lot of screens. Well, he had a few in the first one. Russ also had some stuff where Plumlee and PG would screen for him at the same time. There was one where Russ was the only guy in the corner as there was a Plumlee PG action happening, and Russ was able to attack off the dribble and turn that into an assist for Plumlee. So some good signs early for Russ. He did also have 7 turnovers, but you know what? The game went to double overtime. Also, Kawhi continues to look great. And the Clippers, for me now, are kind of in that spot where, sure, the seedings matter, no doubt, but they're going to be tough regardless of where they actually end up in it. And as far as the Kings are concerned, I mean, they're going to be probably a decently scary team in the playoffs as well. I mean, with how insane their home crowd is and with how tough they are to guard with all their shooters and the Fox and Sabonis two-man game. Now we can go to the Lakers-Mavs game, the Jared Vanderbilt national attention game, if you will. Yeah, I mean, look, the defense on Luka was legit. You know, the possessions where he was picking him up full court, and even the ones where, like, let's say the Mavs would still be able to get into their offense, they're doing it at like 13 seconds as opposed to 17 or 18, you know what I mean? But the real crazy ones were the ones where he was able to like pressure Luka and then also disrupt the next part of the play, like one where like he pressures Luka and then AD switches onto Luka and then Vanderbilt steals the pass meant for Dwight Powell, and then another where similar thing, right? It's a switch after a Luka screen and Vanderbilt just goes dead sprint to steal the pass that's meant for Dwight Powell as he's rolling to the rim. And then there was that possession with about a minute left where Vanderbilt, he switched into Kyrie and he sort of denies the entry pass to Luka, and eventually they get it to him, but then Vanderbilt, he plays off of Kyrie, which can be dangerous, but then AD like sprints to cover Kyrie, and then you've got an open cutter from the corner. I think it was Justin Holiday, but then Vanderbilt just gets down there like his life depends on it to cut that off. Like, it was such a good defensive possession. Vanderbilt did not make my role player all-stars this year, a lot of it because he made it last year. But yeah, he's awesome. 9 offensive rebounds, with my favorite being probably the one late where he kept the play alive long enough for AD to then get the putback dunk. What else happened? Celtics-Sixers was pretty wild. And besides, you know, the Embiid shot that didn't count and the Tatum game winner, what the hell was that? On top of Horford and Derek White making big threes. Like, my biggest takeaway from that game, honestly, was like, I'm not sure how many minutes the Sixers can survive without Embiid in the playoffs. Like, I feel like he's going to have to play consistently over 40 minutes a game. So yeah, we are kind of in the home stretch of the regular season. The Bucks have won 14 in a row. The Knicks are on a surge right now. The Hawks changed their coach. Again, that's probably the next video. So yeah, good stuff.